Hello, and welcome back to episode 11 of Rule the Waves 2 German Brawlers. Last time we left off, we had successfully done some additional raiding, had a couple of battles where we inflicted some damage, got some victory points again, and we've got a solid lead now. And with the revolutions happening in Russia, we're looking to topple their government here any month now. Looking at things, I'm hoping to grab some of these battlecruisers and shove them into the Mediterranean as the blockade lightens up a bit. Which, looking at how this works, hold on, let me switch that. Apparently they don't add the two nations together because we're not currently blockaded, and that's clearly in excess of our 239 strategic points, since they have well over 320. So apparently it's done individually. But getting into Tunisia looks very doable if we can get enough in there, especially with the Italians helping. In addition, we have a couple AMCs rolling off the lines here shortly, and then our Raider light cruisers will be coming into service, as well as a new batch of coastal submarines. So depending on how much that frees up, we may end up building a few medium submarines. We have our airship bases all across the world. You can pause here if you want to see a review of what's been sunk so far, but we've lost a battlecruiser, 2 battleships, and 2 heavy cruisers, and then an assortment of other ships. You can see kind of where our mine laying capability is, where our strength is, base capacity, which I'm happy to see that above 200 everywhere. And that's a quick overview of everything that's kind of going on right now. With that in hand, I think I'm just going to go straight into generating a turn. We finish our 2 air bases, commission 13 subs, and our 2 AMCs. Typical AMC. Ooh, cruising formation. And we sink a pre-dreadnought with a mine. At least they're returning home. They're not getting interned elsewhere. Although I'm going to push a few into other zones if I haven't already. Oh man, that is just glorious to see all of that rating done. Convoy defense. Russia declines. No chance to decline the destroyer action. Which it says we have a lot of destroyers in the area, but really we have only a limited amount that are available, since a lot of them are in trade protection. So, let's see what we got here. Russian destroyer not going very fast. Okay, they were going away, that's why. We'll just go back and forth. The Dovey, 2 3-inch, 4 2-inch. I think we're using 3-inch. No, we're using 4-inch with 3-inch secondaries. Should be sufficient. Let's get this off of screening and into support. Possibly even core. We'll just form a giant battle line of destroyers. It'll look weird. I kind of want to see it though. The Corvette's probably not going to get away. Cruise along behind this destroyer till we finally get some hits, which we just did. Shouldn't take much. But we still have to close in and get those hits with local control only. without the benefit of all of our fire control technology. That's unfortunate, but that's the destroyer life. Closer. Oh, I did not take a good view of the battle area before we engage in this. You may escape. So will that Corvette. That Corvette was a lot closer. Unfortunate. But such is the way. We'll just go around hunting other prey. Okay, we found another destroyer. Lost one to a torpedo. Unfortunate. I thought I was still turning. Not that that's a guarantee. But it is why I'm kind of doing the S-turn thing. Going straight and narrow. If you can't squeeze out a little bit more. There we go. That's a couple hits. Couple more hits. But I'm getting a nice series of hits. More. She's on fire. After losing one, I feel like we have to sink this one. He's running for port, though. There's another hit. And we're going to lose her. That's unfortunate. They're getting away with torpedoing one of our destroyers. And unless we find something in the next hour, that'll be that. Unfortunate start to this episode. There's the stats. Close out. Victory. For them. Alright, what do we have? Right, they seem to be drawing down a bit in Northern Europe. Yeah, definitely. I'll take the two Grafspeys into active fleet status. I'll move them into the Mediterranean. That's right, the AMCs I'd scattered her about the seven seas, as it were. Keeping a good chunk of them up here in Northern Europe. Make sure they're all on a raider status. Bring those down, and what do we got for heavy cruisers? 4 in Northern Europe, is that right? 5. See 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn them to active fleet, and we'll move them into the Mediterranean as well. And we'll see how that goes. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to accomplish. Finishing all of the additional airships. A couple of our raiders. Would like some 900-ton destroyers. Oh, that's brutal. But so is that. Those trade disruptions are winning the war for us. French ship Dunkirk goes down. battleship engagement in the Mediterranean. This should be interesting. So what are these guys doing? Independent? Oh, come on back. These are the scouts. Don't really need an independent arm right now. Come up to squad max as we close in to what looks like 3 battlecruisers, probably. Or battleships. Can't close in. Slow down to a cruising speed the scouts can get ahead of us on. I think we're going to miss them. It's unfortunate because I would have liked to engage. Look for some coastal traffic, try to net something out of this battle. Getting some messages about the heavy cruisers getting exhausted. Shoveling coal. So they had three battle cruisers. Which ones were they? What will they tell us? Yeah, I think that's a fight I would have enjoyed. Well, maybe not that one. That one's a little bit more modern, especially with our not so modern battle cruisers. I guess these are midline ones. They're not that old, and they certainly have a decent amount of armor. And it's building a bunch of coastal batteries. How are we looking up here? Very good. Down here we have France. Just happened to throw a bunch of stuff in there just as we did. French and Russians operating down in South Africa. And Southeast Asia, but I'm less concerned about that. So I think I'm going to leave the disposition as is for now. Our raiders getting ready. As some of our repaired AMCs. Okay. I think that takes care of all of it. Yes, yes. Getting a little bit here and there. The rest of our airship bases. Two more AMCs online. Without border changes, no. I've invested a lot in this. I want to see something come out of it. There's our 900-ton destroyers and 15-inch guns. Alright, unfortunate turn of events there. They have longship parts. Might start taking our fleet out of... Excellent. May start taking our fleet out of raider status. So 3 of our battle cruisers. 4 center line triples. I really like that setup. Hopefully we encounter them shortly. Of course, the destroyers need to rearrange themselves just as we're starting. We're doing a coastal raid though, so not as big a deal. You start much further away in a coastal raid. There we go. Fire on us. What are you doing? You just attached? There's their scouts, and there's their battle line. Oh, let's get broadside. Of course, their infamous Beauvais class. As well as a Colbert. I think we haven't had too much trouble with them. Right, we're getting the first hits on the Colbert, the Magenta, which I think is even 10-inch, 10-inch. They're comparable. Getting a shot into the Beauvais, which does have lighter armor than their older ones, but has those 15-inch guns. Secondaries in the Beauvais, that doesn't really matter much. Shore is taking some hits. I think I'm going to take them out of screening and put them into sport. Should line up, line ahead, and fall into the shadow of our battlecruisers, rather than getting chewed up with the outer ones being over here. There we go, that's a little bit better. Starting to get more consistent hits. I'm actually curious. Okay, another hit into the Magenta. That wasn't what this was. France, ships. I want to see the Beauvais class. How many of those do they have? Just have the one. Interesting. So she's just seen a lot of service. Detach the V-43. No reason to lose her. There's the wind gauge. So yeah, we want to swing around to the far side to be downwind of them. Therefore, their gun smoke and coal smoke will get in their gunner's view, rather than ours. The torpedo range. What's that Caribbean class B is a threat to us, but it's long range. Not overly concerned about it. Check our guns again. And we have to be pretty close to get consistent penetrations. I think she has a 2-inch deck. Not that she has that for the extended deck. Okay. 11-inch hit. Receiving a heavy hit of our own. 11-inch hit on that Magenta again. Well, I expect a lot of these are not penetrating. The G38 is. Could detach them a little bit sooner. With the heavy flooding, I'd rather just detach them. 38 taking more hits. Beauvais taking light fire. Alright, 3 11-inch into second and third battleship of the line. Ah yes, the Charles Martels are even older. These are 3 battlecruisers against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battleships. Showing our superior gunnery. Or fire control, really, at this point. Taking a couple medium shells. Gonna count some heavy rounds into them. Only 11-inch though, so it takes a lot. That's a good one. I have a penetrating hit into the extended belt though. Not bad. Superstructure hit. Getting a hit onto the destroyer. More hits into the Beauvais. Our destroyers are just getting chewed up. We can get the 46 out. I want them to be able to support us if they send their destroyers in, but I don't really want them getting chewed up like that. Nice if I could tell them to stand off a little bit further. We took belt extended hit on the Prince Idol Frederick. Not bad. We'll cut in a little bit. We can get some close fire. And they have torpedoes on all of their ships. I didn't bother with these battlecruisers because they go too fast. Unless they slow down, they really can't use submerged tubes. Another heavy shell. Another one into them. And some incidental fire onto their destroyers. Starting to chew them up a little bit better. You're doing a battle line turn right there. Or battle turn, where they all turn in place at the same time. Another heavy shell into the Prince Idol Frederick. That one did hurt. Quite a bit more. Looks like their destroyers are coming in. A little weave. Starting to fire into them. Let's cut in. They're starting to retreat. Beauvais going slow? It is. They may have a chance to take out their flagship. At least as I consider it. That thing has caused enough headaches for us. G-37's finally taken enough damage, she can detach. Running out of destroyers quickly. Their destroyers are closing in. Oh, that's a bad situation. We're going to turn out. We'll come back for the Beauvais. That's way too many destroyers to be diving in like that. Getting a lot of hits with the secondaries though. Glad we have decent 5-inch. There we go. Scatter all the destroyers. Alright, took a heavy hit on the Mackinson. Not bad. Their Colbert takes a heavy hit in return. Near miss on the Prince Idol Frederick. G-38 continuing to get chewed up, but she's down there. That out a little bit better. Colbert taking a hit. Their Colbert. Beauvais taking a hit. Turn in slightly, and then back out. I don't want to ruin any torpedo solutions that those three have. Beauvais taking another hit. Continuing to chew up each other's destroyers at a nice steady rate. Getting another shot into the Colbert. Bounced a medium shell on the extended belt. I can't remember what the extended belt is on this, how heavy I had built it. I'm pleased that it's bouncing medium shells though. Awning tower. You all just need to go home. I'm not doing well. I don't think the G-38 is going to make it. trying to save her, but I think she's already DIW. Dead in the water, not moving anymore. Which is death for her. Another heavy shot into the Beauvais and two lighter rounds into the Colbert. That's not as big a deal. Magenta taking 2 rounds in there. And the Beauvais taking another one. We're laying in a steady stream of heavy shells into the Beauvais, so I think we've crippled her. We're going to continue to get regular hits in on her. I think I'm going to cut in with their destroyers kind of scattered out here. I don't want to keep going straight along this line with that Colbert having a potential torpedo solution. Bouncing heavy round on the Prince Idle Frederick. Proving even these battlecruisers with their 8-inch belts is enough. We must have gotten some extended hits into the Beauvais. All pass-through hit. Getting another shot into the Colbert. Just slowed somewhat, according to the reports. Into the Magenta. More into the Colbert. 10, reporting medium. 10, reporting heavy. And light, reporting 10. Or reporting light. More into the Magenta. You can't be feeling good. So another round or two towards the Beauvais, and then we'll cut out. We'll cut in. Try to do a close pass. 15-inch guns are dangerous. But we also need to be able to get penetrating hits into them. And one into the Beauvais. Getting some secondary rounds into their heavy cruisers. Past the stern of the Beauvais. Oh yes. Nice close hits. At the stern, which isn't the best, gives her armor maximum thickness, but this should work out. And some of those have to be getting through. Especially that many hits. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 last round. Two more, mostly mediums otherwise, and those 5-inch guns, they'll be getting into belt extended, superstructure damage. The Beauvais's not doing good at this point. In fact, she's reporting sinking, and one of her 15-inch turrets is down. Disabled, not completely destroyed. How is the Idle Frederick doing? She's limited all over flooding. She's got some flotation damage. I don't think she can make 26 knots anymore. Nope, 22. So she's going to fall out of position. Unless we maneuver a lot. We should be. And I think I'm going to cut in to the south while we continue to pour some fire into the Beauvais. Avoid these destroyers over here. I don't want to spend more than 1 minute in any given direction. So we'll do a little bit of a weave. As we pursue their other... Yeah, that is both divisions of battleships over there. Oh yeah, and the Beauvais's maneuvering still. Trying to get a torpedo solution on us. If I don't miss my guess. Or at least that's the risk. We are absolutely pounding them though. I don't think the Beauvais is long, and that'll be a great coup for us. 38 continuing. It's just hero of endurance. Somehow managing to stay afloat. Oh, I spoke too soon. And now our battlecruisers have shifted to what's left of their main line. Magenta does not seem to be doing well. Oh, I spent too long. Oh, instantly sunk. Magazine hit. It blows up. Was the Beauvais worth that? I don't know, but if we can get this Magenta too, I'll still call it a win. We can ill afford losses though. And we're going to lose a prestige because the Kaiser's going to be very displeased we lost a capital ship. Starting to get some 11-inch shells into the Charles Martel. 2 more. Into the Magenta. We'll maneuver. Back the other way. We'll turn out into the heavy shell into the Magenta. Couple rounds with no results. Bouncing off our armor. Lighter rounds getting in. Heavy shells are just really not getting in right now. Let's see how the Niobe's doing. How are we on ammo? Actually have quite a bit. Yeah, we'll turn out slightly. Charles Martel. Charles Martel takes another heavy round. Colbert takes a round. Let's see, how is the Beauvais doing? Sinking on fire. One of their turrets destroyed. Magenta is heavy damage on fire, supposedly making slow way. Check as we turn back in. How much time do we have? Got lots of daylight too. So let's take a note. Right around this lat long, which is approximately 54 north, 6 degrees east. So we'll look for that later. I want to pursue the ships that can escape. Charles Martel takes a round. And they're not really returning fire effectively. We're not taking a lot of rounds. We're getting plenty of heavy shells into them. So I am happy enough to plink away at them at range. Bounce the odd shell here and there. And continue to get those heavy shells in. Because even if they can bounce on the primary belt, ships this early on until they get all or nothing armor schemes, they will go down unless they're heavily armored everywhere. More lighter rounds being exchanged. Heavy round into the Charles Martel. Reporting heavy damage, light damage, and medium damage. Looks like we got the rudder for the Charles Martel. Do an end run on the front of their formation again. Getting 2 heavy rounds into the Colbert in the front, 1 into the Charles Martel. Another 1 into the Colbert. With them scattered like this, we can cut in close on the Colbert class. but she's turning away. Charles Martel. Where is firing at the Charles Martel? Oh, they're cross-firing. The Mackinson's firing on the Colbert, the Niobe's firing at the Charles Martel. Oh! Damage to the Mexican's fire control. They'll take out one of two directors. Oh, that's in here somewhere. Yeah, one of two. Minus 40. Whereas the Niobe is 2 of 2, minus 20. Atkinson takes another penetrating hit. Getting heavy into the Colbert. One of our retreating destroyers taking some damage. Elsewhere in the battle, somewhere. Alpha scattered all over the place. Looks like the Beauvais did sink while we were still within visual range. Put some more fire into the Colbert. Not heavy fire though. 5-inch, 11-inch. Continue, give our gunners a decent chance. Bridge destroyed. Good grief. Starting to get some decent hits in now. Decent critical hits. Check on their statuses. And with the Colbert's bridge destroyed like that, it's going to be a little bit till they reestablish command and whatever counts as combat information center for World War II. Sort of like a battle bridge. No direct visibility of the battlefield, but you can still command from there, give direction. They'll have the central plot. So that's the map you see in the dark room on most movies. Colbert doesn't seem to be too damaged at this point. We'll pass them up. Take a look at the Charles Martel. But yeah, sinking my foot. Second battleship reporting low ammo. They'll reduce their rate of fire now that they have less ammo. One of the reasons I like to have a large amount of ammo available. More than what you really need, usually, unless you're outnumbered like this. Want to be careful, I don't want to lose another battlecruiser at this point. There's 3 shells into the Charles Martel at a range of 8,300 yards. We'll cut in, head south, see how close we can get. They're turning, which is a threat to a torpedo. Even from the Charles Martel. Another round into them. That's a nice scattering of rounds. 3 more heavy rounds. 1 more into the Charles Martel. These early ships are so tough. Just pound and pound away. Have you ever heard of some people that just don't even build battleships? Like, build a heavy cruiser that can take out other heavy cruisers and smaller ships, and then just ignore the battleships in any battles you're in. Definitely a viable strategy. kind of mirrors what the French did, sort of. Not really. The French went with light forces, destroyers, and cruisers with torpedoes to take out capital ships. Not quite the same strategy. Closing in. I'm a little bit worried with the way those destroyers are mirroring us. And now they're turning. Doing the Colbert. Love having 12 guns on these ships. Couple pass-through hits. Heck, it's been a little bit since we've checked this side of things. Not too bad, especially considering where we are in this battle. Although we should be wrapping things up now. Destroyers are mirroring us, and now they've turned away. How's this one looking? It says heavy, but perforating uptakes. How slow is they going? Lost 3 knots. I'll reduce speed. I'm okay with that. Cut back around. Duck and weave to avoid torpedo fire. Although now they don't have a good solution. 2 more into the Charles Martel. Heavy damage on fire. Colbert sinking on fire, which I'm skeptical. 2 more into the Charles Martel. Another one. Because she turned broadside, I want to avoid any torpedoes, so I'm turning out. And back in. Weave a little bit. We get another round. And you'll know our accurate fire into the Charles Martel is now. We spoiled the firing solution, so now we're getting fewer hits. Oh, there's the one that's lagging behind that we thought might sink. I think. I'll have to check the footage to be sure which battleship we'd left for dead, other than the Beauvais. Take a close pass at the Charles Martel, which we're getting some heavy fire into her. Go for a close pass. No avail. This Colbert is going kind of slow. We will turn out because where these destroyers going east-west. And they're avoiding torpedoes, so they had launched. Glad I turned when I did. A little bit too complacent there. Oh, nice. G42 getting a hit in there with the torpedo. So that Charles Martel is as good as gone. .49 launching a torpedo too. Wasn't expecting that. Their destroyers don't seem to be doing a very good job defending anymore. Alright, keep closing in if we can, while keeping an eye on these. 5 hits. That is excellent. One more, 2 more. Two more. Then we'll turn out. 1 more, 2 more. I think we might have this Colbert. 10:46 in the morning, so we have plenty of daylight still. Splitting fire now. Actually taking some pot shots at these heavy cruisers up here. Wouldn't mind that, but if we can destroy the battle line, that'll free up a lot of our forces for other purposes. Getting that invasion done in the Mediterranean. And making sure we don't get blockaded again, because we really can't afford that too much longer. pouring fire into the Cold Bear now. Very low on ammo. We'll leave her. And wait, let's not do that. Rats. Let's head north. There, get more departing shots on them. Don't mind that with the aft guns. Ooh, nice. Heavy cruisers shouldn't be able to take too many of those. You missed it, 2 11-inch guns into this Chauncey class. But I think I might leave them. I want to go check, see how this other... There, that might be it. No, that guy's slowly retreating east. Getting another hit on the Chauncey. That's a destroyer with how fast that's moving. Curious what this is. That's a retreating... Oh, there we go. Those are destroyers, though. Another destroyer. Light cruiser. Okay, so she sank or limped away. One or the other. The other French battleship that we had disabled up here. Hit on the Sully. I might as well deplete our ammo. If we have the chance. That's not the button I want. Alright. Like they're turning away. Go across their stern if we can. Are they retreating at this point? Another hit on Sully. B-46 going down. Not surprising, but she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Cut south. Seem to be scattering now. They still want to fight. It's interesting. Are we on ammo? Forward, we're out of AP. So I'm thinking it's time to turn home. If they want to pursue us, they chance getting hit by some more armor-piercing shells. We'll even slow down to give them a chance to. And we'll head back to port at this point. This has been a particularly long battle. But one, I think that was worth fighting. And I think went very well, even though we lost a battlecruiser out of it. Airships doing their thing. And that's that. So we got 4 battleships for the loss of one of our battlecruisers. There's Uplands as well. A couple of operational losses each. Now let's see. There was a destroyer in here. Pretty sure it was G-38, which took a tremendous amount of gunfire and did not live to tell the tale, but took plenty before succumbing. And then that Beauvais took a staggering amount of heavy gunfire. 68,700 damage points worth. Whereas those older ones really didn't take nearly as much. That's still a tremendous amount of heavy fire. That's a ton of gunfire. 71 medium. That's what I wanted out of that, though. With that, I believe we are over time. So I just want to quickly go through this, save, and call the episode to a close. Thank you for joining me. That was a very long battle, but excellent results. I think with that, we have officially turned the tide of this war, and I think we have it. Be a few tough fights ahead, I'm sure, but this has been an excellent couple months. We didn't make it far. We started the episode at January 1913. We're in April. But with that, again, thank you for joining me. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time. Take care.